That was such a kick-ass ending. You play that jazz tune and you rip out that chord. It's kind of like when you unplug someone.
Whoa.
Hello, feller dwellers. Welcome back to Beyond the Cave podcast. We are your hosts, Olivia.
I'm Kitty.
Wait. Don't speak.
We just saw A Quiet Place, day 2.
Day 1. I actually saw a joke that was like, actually, it was kind of more day 2 and 3.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we just saw A Quiet Place day 1, 2, and 3.
I just have like this tension that I'm still carrying with
I know, we got to go for a run.
myself. Yeah.
I got to make a ton of noise and have nothing attack me.
Walking out of this movie is just like, and it's exactly how the other movie made me feel too, because I didn't see the second one, but you've seen both. And Livia?
I was way more tense in this one. And I think it's because I went to see the first one with my dad, and he chews popcorn with his front teeth, and it's awful, and I could not stop thinking about it the entire time. And I sweat. Anyway, I had my own quiet place. It was a loud place. Anyway, and then the second one I saw at a drive-in movie theater after I watched Sonic the Hedgehog because I wanted to get a good spot at the drive-in. So yeah, I've seen Sonic the Hedgehog. But yeah, then I saw this one, and this was definitely the best experience, and in my opinion, the best one out of the 3.
Okay. So that's an interesting place to start.
Yeah.
What did you like about this one more than the other 2?
Ooh, what a great question. So the first one was cool because it was the first time you were introduced to this premise. So it was fun to have like an introduction. So I think, but I like to know stuff. Wow, I'm so different.
Completely agree.
Yes.
When I first saw that first movie, I was like, yeah, this is cool, but like, what happened to this world?
Yeah, and I think it's fun to ask those questions. Like, I guess when I say I like to know stuff, I just mean, you know, I know what the monster is going to look like already. I know what's going to be about already.
Oh, I see.
I think that's more what I mean. I actually really like when movies make me ask questions, because then I think, well, maybe we're going to explore this world, or I can just make up my own story, which I think is really fun too, because I have an active imagination.
I'm a sucker for
Patrick
lore.
needs to know everything.
I just want to dive into a world, and
in the age of information, he would crumble.
So the day that I saw A Quiet Place, I remember going home and Googling the background to the monsters.
It's just a video of John Krasinski being like, this is for all you people that need to know everything.
I was so fascinated. And John didn't
No,
give
he
me what I
didn't,
needed.
but I think that'd be really funny.
But the directors did. They did give a big write-up of this is the premise of this world that we set up.
Didn't he direct the first one?
I don't think so.
No, he wrote it.
Well, someone, anyway, that was not John Krasinski gave an explanation of the world.
Cool.
And it did it basically explained exactly what we saw in this movie. So,
that makes sense. Okay, that's some continuity we love.
Yeah.
Some continuity.
So they established the world before they make the movie, which I assume a lot of writers do that.
I think you have to.
Yeah. I don't know how you would otherwise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in like every single TED Talk about how to write a story.
Make a deep, rich world, but first
create a character, create a world, create a story.
I love this universe and this premise.
It's so funny because the universe is just us, because it's just Earth.
Yeah, I hate to say universes though. Like they're setting up an MCU.
You just really like the story.
But I like the premise more than I like any of the stories of the movies. Actually, I really just find the world getting faced with a terrible, awful challenge like this to be really interesting.
Wow, I hate to break it to you, but that's happening.
Oh yeah?
This world is always being challenged by really awful challenges.
Not with monsters though.
Well, it depends what you would consider a monster.
Yeah, not symbolic, just like literal monsters.
Oh, fine. Yeah, we're not. No. Unless you've never heard of a bear before. It's kind of scary. Or you're swimming.
Bears don't come from meteorites.
How do you know that?
No.
Or you're swimming.
No.
And and a megalodon comes up and you're like, oh my God.
Not real. No.
He probably doesn't believe in mermaids.
Do you have something to say?
I do. I only took, well, actually, I've been trying this thing where I just watch the movie and not take any notes during it because we've been taking notes during the movie. And especially if we watch a movie at home, I'm just on my computer. I write down a thing about every single scene. I'm a yapper. That's something I was thinking about on the drive home. Yappers would be crucified in this movie. In this, like, if those like blind, mega hearing aliens came down, yappers done for. Absolutely done for. Also, we don't know that they're aliens for sure. What if the government sent them down from satellites? Woke. Anyway, so here's what I wrote down. I'll let you ponder on that.
I don't think that's what happened.
Well, whatever.
I know you don't mean it, but I don't. Yeah.
In my note that I made on my phone right after the movie, I wrote movie. Very good. And
wow, those are some big notes.
That's point one. Point two is the first scene when the aliens like first come and she's on the bus. I thought that was terrifying.
Really good.
So I read some reviews before that had an issue with the word. So when I say the word carnage, does that just mean like seeing the aliens like fudge people up?
That opening scene is definitely a bit of carnage.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw a lot of reviews saying like the director used dust and like the smoke and ash to cover up the carnage of what was happening. And so I was going into this movie and I was like, so some people are insane and there's going to be a lot of carnage and they just want more. But there wasn't a ton. Like there was like bloody spots, which I thought were really scary. And the reason I think this is scary, this is a callback from last week's episode about horror movies, is the art of suggestion.
Oh,
you don't have to see everything to make it not realistic. Well, realistic and to make it good.
Like, I think your goal is tension.
Yeah, especially in this movie.
And showing everything at the start is not the way to build tension.
No. And not being able to see, that is terrifying. To just hear, I also thought it was cool though, because that's the aliens' experience. They can't see, they can only hear what's going on. And I was like, cool, they're making us do that at the beginning, and that's the aliens' perspective.
Right.
And
like
I thought that was cool.
Oh, with the smoke.
With all like the dust and stuff, and like you kind of
I didn't
see,
even realize,
you kind of see like a really big shadow, and she's with another random person.
And then someone
they're
screams.
Scared.
Yeah.
And then they get like pulled back.
Yeah.
And you're just like we know that sound affects them, but Sam, the main character, doesn't know. So, like, we're watching her learn. We already know. But the director, I forget his name. I can look it up soon. It was so interesting not being able to see everything.
Yeah, I think it really...
I thought it was extremely effective. It was not a cop-out.
No,
at all.
It totally made sense.
Yeah, and...
It was like the fog of war.
Yeah.
The fog of...
Yeah, it reminded me of Game of Thrones, where we thought it was snowing and that like vision someone has, but it's actually dust.
Oh God, don't even compare this to Game of Thrones.
No, I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying I'm making a connection.
You're right. I see what you're saying. It absolutely was pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Also,
man, I thought it was so good. I thought it, and like seeing the blood spatters, and I thought it was so good. Okay.
Also, like when they're in that theater and you just hear the helicopters going by, and then there's just this giant whoosh and all this crazy noise, like a stampede going through. And I just wanted to see what was going on outside. I wanted to know so bad.
And you do get to see it eventually.
And that's how they felt in that moment.
Yeah, it was great. Claustrophobic, confused, curious. Did you write that down? You wrote something down during one of the stampedes.
One of the first things I wrote down was that I love the tension of day one apocalypse, chaos. It had a lot of similar feeling to The Last of Us, the show.
Oh yeah,
the TV adaptation.
I don't think there's a movie. You mean compared to video game? Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I think like just knowing something bad is about to happen and feeling those little signs slowly start to come, that is a really fun sort of build up. And they get there really quick, which I appreciated. But just the walk in, the drive into New York City, and then you just see a few like helicopters or jets fly by, and it slowly starts getting louder. There's more police in the street. And
yeah, you can kind of feel the noise levels are rising.
Yeah. Like I really think you'd see a sort of steady.
It would be
decibel.
steady, but you also wouldn't know everything, and like they didn't know everything.
No, I'm not talking about their experience.
No, I know.
I'm just saying like it's interesting to watch it and feel that tension because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and then they really just hit it fast. Where okay, boom, meteors.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like it would come so quickly.
Yeah,
and the government and military people would know way before. You know what I mean? Like I always think about like superhero movies where like they know about these alien threats before the public. And this was kind of like a public perspective. Like in another world, there's a movie about the government figuring it out, and the climax of the movie is them deciding to bomb the bridges or not.
Oh my God. Don't even talk about that movie because I want it
movie?
So bad. That is like...
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Exactly what you just said.
You want that movie?
So bad.
That's been overdone.
Overkill.
You need to watch like London Has Fallen or some shit.
I love logistics, geopolitics, like big scale picture. All these movies, and listen, I get why they do it. I get why we go and we dive into an individual's experience.
We'll be linking the fanfic of Patrick writing it from the government's perspective after this.
Yeah. I really like the big picture. And I wrote down something. I said, I want the Quiet Place version of World War Z.
Oh, yeah.
And I know not everyone loves the movie World War Z, but what I love...
I'm a World War Z truther.
Okay. I think the first 2/3 at least are great. And what I love about it is the way the different like countries are trying to handle this problem.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you had, just one sort of Brad Pitt expert kind of type guy dealing with the government, and the governments are trying to handle this.
And there's a guy that's like, I've been in Yellowstone National Park for 5 years. I knew the aliens were coming and no one listened to me.
Yeah.
There's someone out there. And it's played by Woody Harrelson.
That day, sure.
That's from 2012. He plays that character in 2012.
I'm in, but I love
We're writing our first movie.
The world react to it.
Yeah, it is cool. I just feel like you can get that fix anywhere else.
No, but this universe is so cool. These aliens are so interesting to me.
Really?
I do find the fact that they're just sound-based.
That is cool.
Really neat.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And we got that close-up of like its ear opening.
Yeah.
That was really neat. Yeah.
Oh, it was so cool. And knowing that they're really sensitive to super high frequencies.
They're just autistic.
They're like, no.
Yeah. They're just really overstimulated by sound.
Okay. Here's one thing I hate about these guys.
The aliens?
They are hypocrites. They don't want you making sound. But the amount of noise that they make smashing stuff.
They don't know they're making noise. They can't. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, what am I? They just can't.
Why aren't they fighting each other? They're out here throwing ambulances and you step on a piece of glass and it's like, game over, buddy.
I was actually thinking that, and I feel like they know when it's one of their own. But, suspend your disbelief. Suspend your disbelief.
The premise with them, though, is that they hate sound.
I know.
It's not that they want to kill everything. It's like they're literally...
No, yeah, I read that somewhere. They don't really eat people. They just want them to stop. They just destroy everything that makes a sound.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why don't they destroy each other?
It is a giant plot hole. I'll accept it because I still think the whole premise is so cool.
Yeah.
But it is... I don't know. My lore is
I felt bad for them. I was like, the sound is hurting them.
Nah, fuck them bitches. They don't know. Fuck them bitches.
Okay.
Dude, they can't even go in water.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it rains.
Neither can my Nana.
Well, don't ask what I think about her.
Oh.
I have a question.
Oh, I love questions. I'm going to open my notes. I'm just so excited about this movie.
The one that went in the water died so fast.
Yes.
Do you think that if it rains, it kills them, or is it that?
I was thinking it's submerged. Submerge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that something to do with like H2O, like the chemical, somehow like affects their cells, like incredibly fast osmosis?
Well, it kind of went like I just feel like they don't have water on their home planet, so they don't know how to they don't know to hold their breath, so they get in water and they're like, oh my god.
Okay.
Like they just start breathing in water.
I think that also makes sense.
But they also know not to get into the water, but if they can't see, how do they know?
I know.
Can they hear the vibrations, I wonder? Because when they're walking around, they're going because
the bat.
I think they use echolocation.
The bat thing.
Yeah, that's echolocation.
Yeah.
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 The whales with the big heads use that. Beluga whales.
Yeah.
They go like. That's from Finding Dory. Maybe. Anyway, that could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
I hope.
That scene where he jumps off the bridge at the end. They know not to jump after him.
They knew. But part of me feels like they can hear the water. Because water makes noise.
Water is always making a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
So,
and again, I'm not here to poke holes in it.
We have a blind friend. We need to ask him.
And he hear water? You can hear water running.
Yes, I know that. But when it's really... No, it wasn't calm.
Yeah.
Anyway, never mind. He's off the hook.
I like that they have some weaknesses, though. That makes me feel good.
Oh, good. Someone also said, I don't even need to open this. I feel like I have everything memorized, I guess. I have to burp. Keep talking.
One of my interactions that I really liked in this movie was seeing the monsters, one, in a bigger horde than what we saw in the first movie. And I really liked their interactions with the technology of New York City. So the breaking the sound, the making the alarms on the cars go off was really cool. But watching them deal with a helicopter where they can't reach it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just like
that was...
helicopters going this way, they're just like flying through the city.
Man, I kept getting mad when I know that humans will make noise, but why would the peoples not take the helicopters and kind of fly them around in one spot?
I was thinking that too.
Take them this side, we'll pull them back to keep them away from all the civilians. I feel like there could have been a little more help, but this is a newer movie. We don't know the entire side that the government was dealing with. And when I say government, I mean military people.
Yeah, and they definitely at least got,
They helped a little.
But they got one of the helicopters.
I'd be up in the helicopter boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
The drum kit, just you can't get me.
Oh yeah, the Mad Max guy with the fire guitar and the giant amps. Yeah, get him up there.
Or just...
Would they burn? Could you burn them?
I don't know if we've seen them burn before.
Right. I thought it was so metal when they blew up the bridges.
That was a really cool
and the person
scene.
was like, "Oh my god, they trapped us." And I'm like, "You got to do what you got to do."
Yeah, I get it. Sorry guys, if they don't like swimming.
Okay, so that's something I read. I read a lot of stuff and I forgot the first one, but here's a different one. Can you tell I had a coffee today? So someone on the line was a little bit angry that they were like, oh, they figured out they don't like water so fast. And they figured out that like they're adverse to noise so fast. Me. How come it took the people in the country so long? And I was like,
that sentence explains itself though.
I know. I was like, because they didn't land in the countries. It's like in the yeehaw areas, like they were going for the cities, which every single alien always lands in New York. I don't know why anyone lives there because you're going to have an alien invasion.
It's true. But to be fair, they did land like all over the globe. We did see.
Yeah, Vancouver's a really small city.
Poor Vancouver.
Yeah.
Wonder if the island got hit.
Yeah, you got to get off that. I'd go to PEI.
I think that's an interesting strategy is they should have made a really loud, let's go Mad Max guitar guy on an island that there were none on.
Yeah.
And then they would all just be like trying, like get as close as they could and just be like,
whoa, what if they made like one of those ant towers? And then they just...
Yeah. Oh, that wouldn't be good.
No, not for the guitar guy.
Yeah.
Me. But, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that critique was annoying after seeing the movie.
As you said, like, by the time she's going into the city, they've already hit.
Yeah.
Like, there are jets.
Yeah, they know about it. And it's also like, if these aliens are landing everywhere, to this person who made this critique, have you never seen a government side alien invasion movie? These people are talking to each other. Yeah. These people are getting information as fast as possible, and they're telling each other to help.
Everyone's collaborating. Australia's been down for a day already, maybe. We don't know. Like, it just, there's so many possibilities.
Australia's a day ahead. It would be clear that the aliens would hit there first.
They're out of respect for time zones. Do you think that this is kind of like a Pacific Rim situation where it's another world trying to tear apart our world to like weaken it?
I don't know. I didn't like Pacific Rim that much, so I want to say no.
Okay.
That's
fair. But yeah, basically just like another world sending their dogs down to clear out the military of this city, this kind of world, and then steal their water because that's all we ever are good for, apparently.
Yep, it's true. Yeah, so I liked this one way more than the other ones. Not way more, I guess. I really liked the first one.
I really liked a cat being oh no, it's going to accidentally make noise way more than a baby.
Oh yeah, the baby was stressful.
Oh, I hated it.
I don't know though. I feel like cats make noise. Cats would be like, wing.
Maybe, but cats also just be...
Not Frodo.
Oddly... intuitive.
That's true. Maybe they're like, this thing must be bad. It's slimy.
Yeah,
I liked it. The baby thing was stressful. Like, to me, I was like, man, I'm sorry. I'd kill that baby.
It's so stressful.
Yeah. But a cat was, I don't know. It makes more sense with the cat. But maybe it's because like I like cats.
Like a cat on day one versus like, oh my God, why did you guys have a baby?
They didn't even, like I don't think she was pregnant when it started happening. I think she got pregnant after.
I think so too.
Just wild. Don't be clapping cheeks after the apocalypse happens.
Maybe you're just like, well, this is going to be the end.
Yeah, no, it might actually make sense. Who am I to judge?
Yeah, but I would agree that I think being in New York made it a little bit more interesting for me. Also, just getting a bit more of the lore of what happened day one. I really found that super satisfying, I think.
Okay, so this is something I meant to tell you. You get a bit of day one's story at the beginning of the second movie.
Oh.
There's about 10 minutes where like John Krasinski's family, like the main family, is at a baseball game. Not like an MLB game, but like the son. Or maybe
like
the daughter.
Yes. Game?
Yes,
okay.
like just like your run-of-the-mill town hero children baseball game. And then like things go amok.
Oh, when they're at the game.
Yeah, or maybe just when they're leaving.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's pretty intense. And I think they might have done it just so they could say that John Krasinski was in the movie.
Oh, they did pull that fake out too, didn't they?
Yes.
It was like John Krasinski's not really going to be in it, but he's at the start.
Yeah, like, because everyone saw that he died in the first one, so...
Oh, right, he does die, yes.
He does die. He sacrifices himself for his kids, which I really liked. I think it's cool when people aren't afraid to kill the main character.
He only wanted to do one movie.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's successful. But there is a bit of, I mean, it gives you absolutely nothing. Like, you don't know they're aliens. They just kind of start showing up.
Ooh,
like you don't see them
crash in
you don't see them come from the sky, I'm pretty sure. If I can remember.
That's cool.
It's like the only part I remember from the second one.
I will say...
and the guy in this one is in the second movie.
Oh, yes, that dude.
Yes, I totally forget his name.
He kills the guy towards the start of the movie.
Man, that was...
Yeah, the guy's like freaking out. He's like, we're all going to die.
Yeah, he's like, we're all going to die. And the guy's like, that's my kid, that's my kid, that's my kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he just smashes his head against the brick wall.
Oh, he smashed his head. Okay, I thought he snapped his neck with one hand.
He might have.
Either way, the guy had to be yoked because I was like, I could not do that with one hand.
I would so much rather be killed by a random cool dad than like one of those aliens.
I think it would be pretty painless to die by those guys. It would be so quick. Those things are strong.
Yeah, but like you don't. I'd rather have something that was definitely instant.
I think a human would be less instant. I think...
Well, we're going to have to put it to the test. We're going to need an alien to come.
I think it would be like you crushing an ant.
Oh, I try not to crush ants.
Well, that's very kind of you, but they probably don't... There's probably not a lot of...
No, man, ants don't die when you're trying to crush one.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
the people die fast. All I'm trying to say.
It's true, yeah, they stab them.
Yeah.
Man, they are cool-looking aliens, though.
I have a question about their little feeding pit that we saw towards the end.
Oh, yeah, when they were eating their nectarines.
That was such a weird scene. We're in a pharmacy, and I don't know if I blanked out, but I was like, how did we get here? It's dark.
Yeah. I was convinced I blacked out.
Okay,
I was like, where the hell are we now?
My take is the editors, there was like something in between and they're like, let's cut this down. We'll just skip to here.
Right. And it was just because he was following the cat. I was like, why are you following the cat? The cat always finds its way back home.
Yeah, I was kind of like...
Real advocate for that Hannah Montana song.
The cat does. And then there were like these mushroom things and I was like, oh yeah, mushroom things. And I was like, wait a second, what are these mushroom things?
I know. I was like, fungus, weird veins. Is this War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
Where did these come from? Where are we? Are we on the bridge?
Is this
are
like
we under the bridge?
Is this their food? Well, obviously
maybe. I was like, is it a baby? No. I don't know. But they were eating it. They ripped it apart.
Yeah.
It looked kind of yummy.
Okay.
It was juicy.
Yeah.
Ever rip apart a mango?
Like mango. It looked awfully stringy.
I can't do that. Mangoes are really...
It looked very
some fruits are stringy, like a peach. Like a plum.
That was no plum, let me tell you that. Like a pumpkin.
Maybe it was their plum.
Like a pumpkin.
Ooh, pumpkin.
Worse.
They have
like hair. It was just like hair.
They have like candles that are scented of whatever the hell they were eating. Because we have pumpkin scented candles. They don't have a pumpkin spice latte. They have like a alien nectarine. Glorka
spice latte.
You heard it here first, people. They were eating a Glork and Forkin.
Just those dudes like humanized in a sitcom where it's like, hey, Frank. Yeah, how are the kids? Oh, well, I really miss them now that we're on Earth.
They don't have squirrel moments. They have like crash boom.
And it's like, oh, wait, sorry, that was just me.
Sorry. Oh, my bad. That's my ADHD. That's just me.
Yeah.
Ha. Oh, man, we're just a hoot and a hollering today.
Dude, it's a fun movie. Like, I feel like...
We haven't even talked about the characters.
And that's the thing is, like, I liked these characters. I thought there were a lot of really nice moments. But I like the aliens so much more. So you tell me what you think about the characters.
I thought it was awesome to have a character who we know wasn't going to make it.
Agreed.
But not even in the way that's like, oh, Sam's going to get eaten by an alien. In a way that's like, this woman has terminal cancer and she doesn't have her medicine now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is such a I don't know if that's done a lot.
I know I was rooting for her, but I also am realistic enough to know that she wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I have confused feelings.
There's a unique perspective and experience you get when you know she's not going to make it.
And it was very heartwarming. Like when they're at the jazz club, I was like beaming. I was like, oh, like I feel happiness, but so much sadness. We need to watch Inside Out 2 again.
I need to watch maybe the second Quiet Place. I don't know.
We can have a marathon sometime.
If it's like the first one, I don't need to watch it. Like, I don't even think I need to watch this
the
movie
opening
again.
scene.
Yeah.
I'll watch this movie. You know me and Big Monsters. There was a couple moments where they were like walking in front of the window, and then like when it was crawling down the subway stairs, I was like, oh, that'll never leave my psyche ever.
They're cool.
Yeah.
My favorite shot was them just crawling all over the buildings, chasing the helicopter.
Ooh, yeah, that was in the trailer. Some people were like, yeah, they gave that away in the trailer. And I was like, joke's on you. I didn't even watch the trailer. I knew I wanted to see it. So nothing was given away. So back to Sam.
Yes.
Anything else? I thought it was a really heartwarming perspective and interesting.
I do think they, like, even though I'm saying, my favorite part was the monsters, which, whatever, was shallow. I do think that it was a really nice story.
Yeah.
And I liked the scene where they're screaming during the thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah, man, you felt it. You're like, God, that must be so awful.
It's just like letting out that tension.
Yeah. And I liked that we were just at her place, not some randos.
Yeah.
And man, the ending. That was such a kick-ass ending.
I thought that was pretty cool.
You play that jazz tune and you rip out that chord. Oh, man. It's kind of like when you unplug someone.
Whoa.
When someone is passing away and it's like, okay, it's time to pull the plug.
Damn.
Whoa.
That is so sick.
You heard it here first, folks. Just in case you're reading online somewhere. I haven't read it online somewhere.
Oh, that's so smart.
Whoa, because she pulled her plug. And I'm feeling good.
Nice.
Thank you.
No, that was really smart. Yeah, and I like that it gives her the power. She's like, all right, I'm choosing.
Yeah. And that whole, like, I like when New York is quiet, you feel, or you can feel the music.
You can hear it.
Hear it. What else? No, my computer.
I thought the cat did an incredible job.
Frodo the cat, Oscar-worthy performance. Excellent job.
If you're watching, there's our Despicable Me water cup.
Yeah, because that's what we get at the theater. We just get water.
Yeah. I would get Diet Coke, but it keeps me up at night.
Oh my gosh. And then we
can't
I'm
share. 80. Yeah, that too.
This movie is a horror movie.
Totally.
Which
and
is
why
awesome.
is it that, like, when you don't brand it fully as a horror movie, I'm in?
Yeah, I was terrified.
This is a terrifying movie.
There was a kid sitting in front of me that had its hood up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why did they bring that kid to this movie?
In 10 years, they're going to be like, yeah, my parents brought me to the Quiet Place day one, or A Quiet Place, and it ruined my life.
Oh my God. I would have been destroyed by this movie at that age.
This kid was like 8.
Yeah, I kind of forgot how scary movies affect you when you're a child, where
it's
every
not that
single
scary,
time you go to sleep, you're just expecting the monster to burst through your door.
Did you watch Signs as a kid?
I did not.
Another alien movie? That was just on TV all the time.
Oh, no.
And one day, like, my dad just had it on, and I was like, for people that aren't watching, just mouth open, staring at the TV. And I don't know, there was the part where it, like, walks out, and it's like a tape recording of it. Ruined my life.
Tape recording?
Someone was like recording at a kid's birthday party, and then like the alien walks by. Ooh, it's freaking me out. And it looks like the classic like big head.
Yeah.
It's very uncanny.
Right.
And I couldn't even walk to the bus stop without getting anxious.
Oh,
because
I feel that.
It was just like down a little street
You're
or
like, you're gonna
driveway.
see it.
And I was like, it's just going to walk by.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah. That with other movies,
Yep.
100%.
Still there.
I remember watching Scary Movie where they made fun of signs. Like the alien walks by and I don't know, he's like smoking weed or something. It's just like those movies were great.
Yeah, those movies actually really helped.
Yeah.
They were like a medicine.
They
for
were
fear.
medicine for scary
Comedy
movies.
helps you calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a horror movie and I read a little blurb from a review. I couldn't read the whole thing because I'm not subscribing to JSTOR.
That's okay. We don't need to subscribe to JSTOR.
I hate paywalls. Anyway, this lady, I believe her name was Patricia, said something, I didn't pull the quote, but it was like something along the lines of, this subgenre of horror is scary because it's mirroring our world. So, you know, it's happening in New York.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like our real world, but like it's ending. It's an apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's what invokes our fear. Yeah, this is very simple.
Yes.
And it's like, that's terrifying. That is terrifying.
It is really spooky.
Yeah. What other
Tense.
movies? Man, I loved Apocalypse, but like I was obsessed with 2012. Like the movie
you
2012.
like that movie. Yeah.
I love it. And San Andreas with The Rock.
San Andreas. Where he's like, he has to go get his daughter in San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eat it up. I had a friend. She listens, I think. So shout out to you. Terrified of 2012 as a kid. Like we were waiting for the date. Like as the date got closer, she was so anxious.
Because of the movie? I feel like the movie came out after.
No, it was before.
Oh, God.
But she couldn't.
We got to capitalize on this movie before the world
she
ends.
never watched it. Like she couldn't.
Gotcha.
And I was always like, this is my movie night, friend. And I was always like, we need to watch this. It's so good. And she was like, I can't. You don't get it. I'm fucking terrified.
That's funny.
Anyway, I hope she's doing okay now with that fear.
Dude.
What else? I Am Legend. There was some I Am Legend moments.
A little bit.
Instead of a man walking with a dog, it was a woman walking with a cat.
Yeah. Not like an I Am Legend Day 1, but I got you.
No.
Yeah. World War Z. I'll say it.
World War Z.
I feel like
there's a movie
it's
called
very,
Pandemic.
very World War Z, given that they're both like Day 1.
True.
Kind of sort of vibes. Although, you know, World War Z veers off in a different direction where we can crash planes and get stabbed by giant pieces of metal and we're fine. But that's besides the point. Passionate about that movie.
Fine. Clearly, he is very passionate. We have found Patrick's passion.
I really like the premise.
Yeah.
Zombies, monsters, like I love it. The pack.
Yeah.
The dangerous pack.
Yeah, it didn't feel like aliens. It felt like monsters.
Yes.
They kind of looked like the Stranger Things.
Oh, I was going to say, the choice to cast
Joseph Quinn
and have demogorgons in this movie. I was like, this man has suffered once. You better not kill him.
Man. Oh, and the Sam, the main character, Lupita, I think that's how you say it. Do you remember watching Us by Jordan Peele?
Oh my God.
She's the main character in that movie. Yeah. And her eyes. She has such amazing eyes.
Us is...
That's the one. That's the one where they're tethered.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's a scary movie.
It's creepy.
So creepy.
I don't want to watch that again. Creepy.
No.
Creepy.
Thinking about it. Oh my God. Okay.
Creepy.
My famous question, what would you do in this scenario?
Okay.
And we live here.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
On your question?
Fine.
I'm just saying, like, I know there were a lot raining down, but if they didn't immediately rain down in the countryside, I'm getting a vibe that this was targeted to the major city centers first.
Yeah.
And so...
That's how it always feels, eh? It doesn't feel random.
Feel that way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did they go to the noise, maybe?
Well, if they're just meteors, like...
I know, but at the beginning, there was the fact that, like, Manhattan or New York or whatever is just, like, a constant scream.
Yeah. I get that they would be attracted to go to there, but I'm just wondering, like, did the alien overlords that want to get our water send it directly to all the city centers?
No, they're scared of water.
Well, maybe they need water in low doses, okay? The dose makes
we fear what we need most.
Anyway, the reason I ask this is, would they be dropping down into our city?
Yeah, I know. We don't live in a very populated place, so I'm thinking no.
If they don't,
we have time.
We might have a bit of time.
Yeah. To get a lot of water. We also live by a lot of water.
It's true. And it's like, what is the play?
I'd go to the island. You know what island I'm talking about.
There are islands in our harbor. There are 2.
Mm-hmm.
That is guaranteeing your safety.
Can we say what city we live in?
Yeah, we live in Halifax.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a couple islands. I would go there.
Yeah, in the harbor.
Meet and greet.
So if we find out, okay, this is the thing. The only problem with that is we're not going to be the only ones.
No.
And unfortunately, we're not going to have food.
I can fish with my bare hands.
Okay. I think if they don't attack us instantly, and we have a bit of time, I think our government might be able to get some sort of plan in motion. Listen, we have ferries.
We do.
We do have ferries.
We do.
And I think that we probably would want to go to that island regardless, bring a backpack or 2. We might have to swim, but whatever. We don't die.
We don't have any cereal left.
No, I know.
Man,
and then we just have to wait.
Pack of peanut butter.
Dude, that's dense calories right there. You're thinking.
All our granola bars?
You want fat.
Yeah. That's it. I have 1 banana.
We might be fighting other people for our food.
I'm not fighting anybody. My answer to this question is always like, see ya.
Okay.
I did like the premise though. It was like, it kind of asked the question, like, what do you have to live for? Like, what are you living for?
Totally.
She wanted to go home, like her true home.
Yeah.
And that was really special. And after that, she was like, I'm ready now.
I know. It was really sad.
And I liked that she didn't sacrifice herself like they did in the first movie.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh man, it's going to be the same ending.
But
it was so much cooler.
That would have been so lame if they had done that. So I really passing live the Despicable Me 4 water thing. I thought that was nice. I thought that was nicely done. Yeah. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie, but I don't know if I would give it like I'm not going to say my rating yet, but I don't know if I would give it like the craziest high rating.
Well, we're not there yet. Okay. So something.
What else do you got?
Something else. I know my throat's getting dry because I'm just yapping. I feel like I got to get all my talkies out now before we can ever talk again.
Yep.
I think it's cool to take it out of the woods and into a city because cities are so unnerving when they're quiet.
That is so true.
Like when the power goes out in a city, it's so creepy.
There is a certain emptiness.
You're waiting.
And the no lights.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, now whenever it's really quiet, I'm going to be like, oh, when it's quiet, you can hear the music. But then I'm going to like look around like, oh my gosh, where are they? Where are they? I don't like when it's quiet because I also think about dinosaurs. But that's another conversation.
That's fair. So is A Quiet Place day one is better than A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2?
It's better than A Quiet Place 2, in my opinion. I haven't seen the first one in so long, but the first one I liked it. Nope, you know what? It's my favorite.
Okay.
It was a really good prequel. I'm impressed.
I think, okay, the first one is like, it's good at like setting up the world of like what's going on here. And for the premise of it is, I thought it was really good. But I think this satisfied
an itch.
Yes.
I'm like, the first one had that family element, and I'm just tired of seeing family stories.
I like that it was just two people that live in a city.
Yeah.
And
he was there for law school. I mean, it was like, I was like, I don't know if, no. There was a few minutes where I was like, why do we need him in the movie?
Totally.
Yeah. There was a little bit of like.
But she kind of felt that too. She's like, why do I need you here?
She looked to the screen and she was like, we didn't actually need this guy.
She did a John Krasinski Jim from The Office look.
Like, that's true. But as it kept going, I was very happy that he was in it.
Yeah. It was really nice.
It was special.
Yeah.
And Sugars, I was going to say something and I was really excited to talk about it, and I hope it comes back to me.
That's okay.
I'm sure I have it written down somewhere, but we shall see. What were we talking about at the beginning?
Yeah, just talking about which one we liked better. Oh.
We can edit this part out. I'm really thinking. We're talking about which one we like better. I was tired of the family dynamic. Oh, yeah. So I was reading, I forget where I read it, and I might have written it down, but gosh, I remembered it now. So what the hey? Someone said that, and I'm going to tell you this without giving you my opinion, even though you'll probably know it. Someone said that you can take the first 2/3 of this movie and put it at the beginning of any apocalypse movie, and it would work. No. I can't even wait for you to answer. Nope, they're wrong. They're wrong.
Well, like
2/3?
Different monsters.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, before you see anything.
Yeah. 2/3?
I think it's funny, but I don't agree with it. Like,
No,
I thought it was like a joke.
I'm picturing this at the beginning of like, I Am Legend. I don't know. Also, I got a bone to pick with people saying this is a post-apocalyptic movie. It's not post. The apocalypse is happening.
Intra-apocalyptic.
It's just an apocalyptic movie. The apocalypse is apocalypting.
Mad Max is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. Or that's just what the inside of Australia looks like right now.
It's true. We don't know for sure.
We don't know. Shall we get to some reviews, Patrick?
Absolutely.
Sweet. Stop.
Review time.
My head is thinking really fast. I'm trying to breathe.
That's okay. Review time.
All right. There's one review from The Hollywood Reporter, and they said, seeing New York swarming with vicious monsters, scrambling over buildings and leaving giant gashes in their walls, while the streets are lined with burning car wrecks and destroyed storefronts, makes a big impression.
Yes.
It does, but I'm also thinking, like, I read this review and I was like, yes and no, because we've seen New York get absolutely pummeled 100 times.
Of the New York pummelings, though, this one felt pretty good.
You know what? You're right. It did. And I'm glad we're talking about it. You're right.
There are quite a few average New York pummelings.
This one was the bloodiest.
Yep.
I think. Like all like the blood splotches everywhere. Yeah. Because I just immediately think to the Avengers.
I know, and they're just very like.
But that one's really
soft.
just like, oh, the buildings are being destroyed.
Yeah.
You don't really see the people getting destroyed.
No, they're we saved this one.
Yes,
save every
so,
person.
You know what? Quiet Place Day 1. I keep wanting to say Part 1. Day 1. Well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Variety says, where did everybody go? Day 1 makes it look like just a few hundred people call Manhattan home. Surely New York would be crawling with residents pouring out of the skyscrapers and into the streets, or else retreating into their apartments. It's day 1 of the invasion, and the city is a ghost town.
I feel like the movie answered that question with the scene with all the people in it.
I want to premise that I take these quotes before I see the movie, because I think this will be interesting to pay attention to. That question is answered. Are people not paying attention?
Yeah, like I actually think that this movie handled that question really well. So I disagree with the review, but like the first day, it's just like pandemonium, and then the people that do live and like get a clue realize I need to go inside.
There's
immediately.
People shouting at them to stay inside
and be quiet. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then day 2, you see like a street just
filled with people. Yeah.
So I think
That's
it actually, and they're not going to show that in every single scene.
No.
But I think that scene is like, okay, start of day 2, here's all the people.
The people who like survived.
And this is why there aren't going to be any people like in the next like half of the movie.
There would be so many casualties too. Like Oh my. Anyway, yeah, I read that and I was like, interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah, the movie answered it.
I do get it, but I think that like the movie handled that fine. I'm not upset with it.
Yes. And then in an IGN review by Eric Goldman, he states there's a genuine dread that sells this as a believable look at how people would react to a situation so beyond comprehension and so out of their control.
That's a great take.
It is it's like a pretty regular take, I guess, but it is very genuine.
Yeah.
I thought, I forget his name in the movie, but Joseph Quinn's character. The dude, the British guy, him kind of like, what's the word? Like retreating into himself, like every time they get really close to the alien and having like so much anxiety, like duh.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't trust himself to stay quiet. Like he loses control of himself.
You want to say you would do better in the situation, but it's like, would you?
No.
How could you know?
I would die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a yapper. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be like, I gotta gossip about this stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. So I agree with that one. All right. Now from Letterboxd.
Alrighty.
From Tyler, who gave it 4 stars. Give Frodo the Cat an Academy Award. From Corey, 4 stars. No, because my cat would be the death of me if I missed his dinner time by 3 seconds.
This was a well-behaved cat, to be fair.
Justin Waugh, 4 stars. My mental well-being was entirely dependent on whether the cat was going to survive. OMG. And I had to take those cat takes because I agree. Like I was quite worried about the cat, but I was also like, this cat might cause deaths. Kind of did a little bit. I don't know. I almost cried a lot of times in this movie.
Yeah, you did.
I'm just really glad that they hit such an emotional stride.
Yeah.
Because these movies can sometimes be very empty.
Yes. Oh my God. And that is the thing, is like you need that balance.
Yeah.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a comment of people saying like, or just one person saying that they wish there was a bit more lore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just saying that because you're like, hey, people agree with me.
The thing is, though, is like the other 2 movies don't really provide a lot of lore. So
Does this one?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I understand.
I'm saying like I kind of wish
they just came in comets.
I know, and I don't know how you could do more without it being.
Yeah.
I think.
God, we need the government backstory. We need the Woody Harrelson guy. Should we call John?
A Quiet Place.
-1.
Day 0.
Oh my God.
The day before, it's the government's perspective of how they handled it.
Yeah, freaking out.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. There's a fanfic somewhere.
I feel like there's got to be some island somewhere in the world that didn't get
Oh
hit,
yeah, they're totally fine. They're
Like
just
Japan?
Like doopy-doopy-doo.
That's an
Japan got
island.
hit for sure.
UK.
UK got hit for
Definitely.
sure.
Smaller islands.
Hawaii? Maybe.
That'd be crazy.
Actually, the only alien that hits Hawaii is Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, he's a nice one.
Not in the beginning. Oh, he's a nice one. I keep hitting the mic because it's really cute.
Or he's not nice, but he's just little, and like he can't like mess stuff up.
Oh, a baby
So
alien.
they just take care of him, and he grows to love them.
Nurture versus.
Yeah, and he like becomes a good one, and he's like he's like their island like protector.
And that's the beginning of Godzilla.
I like that. And somehow it's also in the Mad Max universe.
Stop!
No,
oh my God.
this isn't in the Mad Max
That's
universe.
No, it can be. Keep
no,
going
it
with
can't.
It's so funny.
It can't.
Okay, all of these I took are just about the cat. If that was my cat, it would have been dead in 18 seconds. My fat ass cat would have started meowing an hour after not eating and gotten the whole city killed. Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
That is so funny. If only these creatures could pop out of the screen to kill those who eat popcorn during the screening. Okay, so a lot of the bad reviews about this movie were literally just people being like, hey, stop chewing so loud. 1 star. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the movie.
That's funny.
Anyway,
That's really funny.
Here's was a 2.5 star by someone named Rory Cashin. For the first 2/3, it had no real personality. I just totally disagree with that, but whatever.
I agree.
Oh, this is the one. Could easily have slotted in as an anonymous sequel or prequel to World War Z or I Am Legend or Cloverfield.
Oh my God, Cloverfield
Really,
too.
any there's monsters in this city, so be quiet subgenre. It clicks into place quite nicely towards the end, and there are some fantastically tense scenes scattered throughout, but overall it doesn't really move the AQP mythology to forward in the slightest.
Exactly.
So it really doesn't move the AQP mythology forward at all.
It
like
doesn't.
You're right. It totally doesn't. Yeah.
And the whole question of like what makes a good sequel, perhaps the same can be said for what makes a good prequel.
I'm sure Shafrilla's production has a prequel video.
Yeah.
I just never thought of it because I haven't watched it.
I think that's like what I was lacking. Like I really was excited to learn
wanted
more
a bit more lore
too,
too, I think.
That's why I
just
so
really like
excited
the acting
to
was
see this
so
movie.
good. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
a cat on a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could have been a really good like first installment to this series too.
Yeah.
Like if you just saw this movie without seeing the other two, it would be really good.
Yeah. Super good. Had a lot of fun. I don't know though.
Are we ready to rate it?
I don't know if it I think it had personality in the first 2/3.
I see what they mean.
2/3 is a lot.
In the sense like
maybe the first.
Sure, half, 2/3, whatever.
Yeah.
I see what they mean though, that in the second like towards the end it really started getting like there's some nice moments between
yeah, there's some
two,
good beats.
two characters.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't show up for a bit, so it
does take a while for him to show up, which like
and I think that should have had a little more
Yeah, I was kind of like
mythology of AQP.
That scene
Even
with
that
the
AQP.
subway though when they were underwater. Terrifying also.
Yeah.
But I really respected the art of suggestion in this movie. I really liked that. I think that's something that I disagree with the most about what I read. About how they use like dust to avoid showing the carnage. I thought that made it much scarier and pushed the premise more. It's frightening to not see stuff and only be able to hear it. And maybe we should think of the aliens for once.
Okay. Olivia,
what's your rating?
As you think about the aliens, I will tell you my rating. Can you give me your rating first?
No. I hate giving my rating first.
Okay. I think I'm going to give it
a 1, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3,
8.4.
8.4.
Like I did really enjoy it.
Wow, you really liked it.
I mean, honestly, 8 is kind of like my average movie at this point. I think my scale goes to 11. So
no.
I like 8.4. I think.
Cool. Why?
I was just so engaged with it the entire time.
That's true. It was like an hour 40?
Hour 40. I thought there was going to be another scene after the ferry. I thought that was like, okay, we've got one more big scene after this.
We did. It was the end.
Yeah. But no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is like, like another hurdle.
Oh,
like,
I see.
I was like, oh, that was fast.
I think once we got to Patsy's pizza place.
True.
I was like, cool, we're almost done then.
It just was a quick movie.
It did go by really fast.
And not that like it was too fast. Just the pacing was so
also the ending was
engaging.
Great.
Like they would have a beat and then it's like, okay, we know something's gonna interesting.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, and I don't think we waited too long in between really tense moments.
No.
I really liked that. I thought the pacing was exquisite.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say I really, really liked it. 8.4.
8.4.
Yeah. I guess I got to roll with that. I said it, so I can't take it back now.
Okay.
What's yours?
Well, we make the rules. 7.5.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Yeah.
That gives it like a 7.9 average.
Yeah,
I think that's probably where this movie fits. I feel like our collective averages on every movie we see is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
man, someday we're going to see one and you're going to hate it. And I'm going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always convince you that movies are good.
Yeah, it's true.
I really liked I'm proud of the pulling the plug.
That was
thing.
really smart.
And
that'll be in our intro
quotable.
for sure. Yeah, and if you're still here, credit gang.
Power to ya.
Yeah,
Comment below.
Comment credit gang.
Before we go, I'm giving it 7.5 because I had a really good time.
It's a great time.
And that's what I want in a movie.
Yep.
I want to be engaged. I want to feel something. And I was scared, happy, and tearful. And that's fantastic.
I love that.
Disgust, anxious. I can't think of it. No ennui. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. We are available everywhere you get your podcasts, and check us out on YouTube if you are not there already to see our cool Despicable Me cup. And
they know.
They can feel it.
They know. Like, subscribe. They're on YouTube. They get it.
Well, maybe I don't get it.
Then okay.
I haven't gotten to say it for as long as you. Like, comment, subscribe, and get a library card from your local library. Bye.